What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Party Chat. I'm your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week, Ashley Dye and Dan Gilbert.
Gents.
I feel like I need to change the intro.
Yeah.
It's a bit... I'm a bit close to you. It's a bit...
Hello.
It's like teaming up with Dan.
Yeah. Xbox again.
So yeah, anyway, we're going to do this in just a moment, but for any new viewers, Party Chat is a weekly show that the three of us do. We get together every Wednesday to have a conversation about a particular topic, basically anything video game related. Timer starts, 10 minutes, go. Cheers. Well, I haven't even introduced the topic yet, but yeah. So yeah, if you like kind of gaming conversations, you can check out basically everything we do, not just this, Let's Plays, news, everything on thegameinitiative.com. And then you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, links below for... I'm going to come up with an animation for that. Links below if you want to check them out. So, as we've been doing the last couple of weeks, we tease the conversation the week prior. The reality is a lot of you might not have watched it. So the question was, why don't you buy an Xbox, Dan? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
The question was, Ash said, what's kind of like key ingredients to a successful game? I joked that you just give money to Naughty Dog and let them go with it. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to change it very, very slightly, and rather than go from a studio's perspective, we're going to what do we as gamers look for? Because as Ash said just off camera, none of us know how to make a video game, so it would probably be very ignorant of us to say, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's like, I'm sure they all know, like, the idea of making a good video game is you make the best soundtrack, the best gameplay, the best looking game, the best, everything.
Exactly. But
So,
from a gamer's point of view, I think it's important, everybody is individual in their appetite and what they like to have from a game, whether it be, a great soundtrack to go with it, or whether they just want the game to look great, whether they want the character to have a lot of story to it. It's everyone's different.
Yeah. So I don't know. Go on, Ash. As it was your topic, what kind of if you could not necessarily describe just your perfect game, but if someone released first details on a game, what would they have to be for you to be like, I'm on board, day one?
So games that I really love and really am addicted to is sort of games with, they've got to look good. Games have got to look good. This day and age, it's expected. We don't really want our sort of Godzilla sort of games that we see. So it's got to look pretty good.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I know you're kind of it's good art direction. It doesn't necessarily have to be the prettiest game, but like if it's not designed to be that way, still being good in what it is aiming to achieve.
It doesn't have to smash the lights out. It just has to be, not last gen sort of look. It has to be up to scratch, I think. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it just has to look good.
No janky animations like the arm away from the body or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. No cutting any corners here. Yeah. But no, the main ingredients for me is just to have a really good gripping story to the way the game is written. I think I like games that have got a bit of sort of mystery to the characters or to the story itself, something that just keeps you on edge a bit and it's intriguing. Games like that I think are for me are the best games I play.
The story driven. So your focus is number one, a good story.
I think so. I like that. Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, stories are important.
I just think it helps keep you hooked. It helps
you need some. You do need. It's basically it's either going to be what's keeping you coming back. It's either got to be addictive from a gameplay point of view, or a story where you need like to quote like an old phrase, but like a page turner.
Yeah, you can't put the controller down. A bit like a book, you can't put the book down. It's the same sort of thing. You just want to keep playing the game,
find out
what's around the corner.
How about you, Dan?
I agree with that. From if you're playing a story-based game, then the story has to come first.
Yeah.
And so on. There's no point, you splashing out on everything else and then there's being nothing to hook you in. I agree with that. But across the board, as like if we're just going completely across the board, regardless of genre of game, then number one has to be gameplay itself. As in, like, your control system or whatever you're doing and so on in it, it's got to keep you entertained. Because even in a story-driven game, I am not going to go from, again, quoting the book, page to page through that story if the stuff that I am actually doing within it is so annoying and clunky that I just get frustrated with it, and it takes me out of wanting to know that story.
A lot of people that had the issue of, like, the order. It's like, there's nothing wrong with the story. I mean, it's not a perfect story, but it is a good story. But a lot of people had the issue with the fact that, well, I'm not really doing anything here.
Yeah. It's like, if you're diving into, say, like a Telltale game, and you know that's the experience you're getting, is less of you, more of the story, and so on, that's fine. You know what's happening up front. But if it's meant to be like a balanced, like 50-50 kind of thing, and you're meant to be running around, like, take example, The Witcher, that's a lot of you going places and doing stuff yourself. It's got a lot of cutscenes to it, but there's a lot of
everything in The Witcher.
But it's a case of, if that was really horrible to do, I don't think I'd have been hooked into that game the same way I was.
Well, like, if for example, I mean, it's not the best combat I've played, but, like, if the combat was, like, really mundane and boring, you imagine having to do that combat every, like, because you encounter people pretty much every 5 to 10 minutes for over 100 hours.
Yeah.
So you're talking 600 to 1,000 battles. Imagine doing that with a boring, broken system. You wouldn't survive.
Exactly.
So that's a pretty good point. I agree, but I mean, it's easy to be snobby and just be like, well, everything needs to be good.
Yeah.
But I have two things about it. There's people say, like, in gamers not always being trusted. I put a lot of trust in people that have a good reputation. Now, I don't necessarily look at franchises of games, because we've talked about, like, with Batman, and, you know, like, there was the Arkham Origins game that wasn't that good, but that wasn't by Rocksteady, so I trust the publishers, the developers, like, pedigree of them. It's like we did before, like Naughty Dog. Whatever Naughty Dog do after Uncharted 4, well, it's probably going to be Last of Us 2. But when they make something that's not one of those two games, I will go into it knowing that I should get a certain quality of game, so I trust them. But in terms of a game, for me, it's the world and the exploration of that world. That's what really hooks me. Characters are characters. It doesn't... Having a nice character, an interesting character, can be really good, but then being a blank slate can also be good, because then you can make him your own character. So it doesn't really bother me either way. You can have someone like a Joel who's written for you and written really well, or someone like, I can't remember his name now, like the dude in Far Cry who has, like, zero personality, and you pick all these decisions for him. So, but in both of those instances, the world is... I mean, Last of Us just has everything, so that's not the best example, or maybe it is the best example.
Well, it is a good example. It is a good example. You know, we've all enjoyed playing that game because it's got every aspect of probably what we all want. You know, it's got the gameplay. You know, you've got the manoeuvring there. You've got a fantastic story, very well written, very well scripted, very well acted. You've got all of that. And you've got the world as well. So, you know, maybe that is just a good example of why all three of us enjoyed that game, because it's got all aspects of what we all want in a game.
I mean, like, to clarify, I'm with Dan. Like, I can't play a game that doesn't control how it should do.
I wouldn't disagree.
That's kind of like the base layer. It's like trying to make a pizza without dough. It's just like, well, that's not going to work, is it?
I got very frustrated with Unity because of its controls.
Yeah, because it's...
like, the number of times I was just, like, over gripping the controller. It's just
throw
like,
it. Just give in to the temptation and throw that controller.
Because, like, it was a fine story. Just like, as far as I'm concerned, it's not stand out, but it's not terrible. They've certainly done worse in that series.
Yeah,
and so on. But it's just like the controls. The number of times, like, go in the window. I'm doing the right thing right now. Why aren't you going in the window? It's like stuff like that. It's just like I give up. I don't care. I'm going over the roof.
I'm just going to jump down and die.
You can, like in my I was saying to you guys before, the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play I just did. The control, like playing like a 20-year-old game, you forget how controls have changed. And to me, it was just like, why are you not spinning? I'm pressing you and telling you to spin. Why are you not spinning? And it's just so, and like the way he jumps and everything is just so clunky and frustrating. It's like, it's possible, but I have to almost like reprogram everything I know how to do naturally for it to work, and it's just like, no, I don't have time. I play video games to relax.
Yeah.
In theory,
not get stressed out about
it. And if a game's making me more and more stressed, then it's just like, well, this isn't.
Yeah.
And that was the thing of like Ori and the Blind Forest as well. I mean, I think we talked about it. I might have even definitely talked about it in my review, where it was like there was this one bit and I must have failed about 80 times, and then I went out for an hour and then came back and did it like first or second time. It was just like, that's what happens in video games. It's frustrating, but I don't mind a game being hard. But like when it won't do like you said, that's the frustration. It's just like, fix your controls. Yeah. So I think we all pretty much agree. It is a balance. It is a balance.
It is
you
a
need
balance,
everything.
a combination of various things. Yeah, and it's. I think the amount of games. It's worth saying. I think at this point that the amount of games we see week in, week out on the Game of the Week show that we discuss that come out every week, and the number of games that we probably talk about in a given year, how many of those we consider to be great games? Not many. You know,
if we're going truly, truly great, yeah.
You know, we probably look at, I don't know, a few hundred games every year.
If you think about it, I mean, like, to varying degrees.
Yes.
But like, I mean, you know, I'd say for a boyfriend, you know, we're probably going to spend 50, 60 hours with, but, you know, other games, you might not even play. So,
and if you didn't get that joke, please watch the Game of the Week show this week from Monday.
Yeah, it's a very good looking game.
At the end of the program.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, don't tell them where it is. They got to go all the way through. All 35 minutes. I'm not giving you timestamps. No cop outs there. So yeah, I think that's it. Obviously, let us know in the comments down below what to you is the most important aspect in a game. Like we're saying, we're not saying these are the only things. These are just the most important things to us. To be a truly great game, it has to have everything. It has to have everything we've discussed. But let us know what's the number one thing that's like, that's an interesting world. I'm definitely going to check this out. Keep an eye on this. Or that's a really good new concept or story or whatever character. In terms of next week, I'll give a teaser for the question. I think we're gonna have a little chat about game cheats. We very briefly touched on them last week.
Yeah.
Okay, with this whole next week, last week, this week.
No.
But yeah, we touched on it briefly. So it's going to be more like, what game cheats did you enjoy the most growing up? Because we don't really see cheats in games anymore now.
And it's
upsetting.
Yeah.
Because there was some really good memories I have of game cheats. But we'll get in. We'll save that for next Wednesday. So come back and enjoy that with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be. No, it would definitely be a good one. There's no hopefully about it. It would definitely be a good one.
Everyone loves cheats.
And yeah, if it's not good, we'll put a cheat on it to make it good. I don't know how, but
upsy, downsy, leftsy, rightsy.
Exactly. That's another thing actually. Each of you come with the coding to your favourite cheat.
Yeah. And
then we could do like a little quiz to see if the other people can guess to see what it is.
What they are
from the games. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Ash, Dan, thank you as always. And we will see you next time.